Hey guys, it's Jedi Lex, and welcome to the 13th episode of Beyond Tatooine, where I bring on different Star Wars collectors to talk about how their love of Star Wars originated, as well as take a look at and chat about their collections. And on today's episode, I have Brandon from the Buff Collector. So, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to be here, Lex. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
I'm glad to have you on. I feel like we're very mutual on TikTok and Instagram, so it's cool to really get to talk to you a little bit more face to face.
Yeah. I mean, us Star Wars fans, we're all over the place, and I think it's a awesome idea what you're doing for the community, gathering all Star Wars lovers and, having this platform, you know, to share our love for Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm doing it. Star Wars connects all of us, but we all have a different love within Star Wars. And I think it's cool to kind of look at that. And some people even love other things other than Star Wars. And I think that's cool as well. So,
Yep.
but for people who may not know you or may not be following you, can you tell us a little bit about what you do on TikTok and Instagram, what you kind of focus on, and where people can find you?
Yeah, so I started my uh TikTok around, I want to say, ooh, I guess like the Buff Collector page around I think 2021 going towards 2022. Um and it all started with I just saw this like Facebook Marketplace with these little things called Funko Pops,
Yeah.
right? I had no idea what they were at all. And I was like, "Oh, they look cool," because at the time I was building my gaming setup. And so, I started digging, started looking at them, and it was Pandora's box. I mean, let me tell you, it started with four, and now I think I'm at the 500 mark.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's not an addiction. It's not an addiction
No,
at
no,
all.
no, not at all.
No, not at all. Um, but I started this channel with Funko Pops, but slowly but surely started going into Marvel and Star Wars. Those are two of, I guess, my love of franchises that I have. Um, right now, I want to say it's mostly Star Wars, just because I don't know. I mean, Marvel hasn't been pushing that much content, which, a lot of people have their mixed opinions with that, but I mean, Star Wars is doing well right now. Bad Batch just came out, and yeah, I'm just sharing the love for Star Wars with my community and Funko Pops as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see you've got like only a couple Funko Pops behind you. Nothing too crazy.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to see that wall right there. Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did the Buff Collector like name come to be? Like how did you pick that username?
So this isn't my only account. I
Yeah.
have my main page, which is a fitness page, and you know, I the first Funko Pop video that I did was on that fitness page, and lo and behold, the GOAT, Sidekick Inc. Um, he commented, and he was like, "Well, you should make like a separate account for this," because I asked him. I was like, at the time, I was like, "Hey, should I combine both or should I do separate?" And I'm kind of glad I did separate because there's my fitness page and then there's the Buff Collector page, and both of them are very different in what I post. So I'm kind of glad I went that route. But I've always been into fitness, and I wanted to create a name for this Funko Pop channel, right? And I don't know, I just thought of like the Buff Collector because, I work out, you know, occasionally, right? And what's it call it? And the name stuck, and I'm kind of glad I picked that one. I honestly do not know what other name I would have picked because yeah, I honestly don't know. I couldn't think of any other name but besides that. And I wanted to like uh I guess make myself different from others in the community. So I guess that was like one way of doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. I know you're the buff collector, and then I've got a buddy, Swole Bricks, and he kind of does
Hmm.
like integrates his fitness into like Lego, whereas you're like fitness
Yeah.
with Funko Pop. So I think it's cool that you
Yeah.
guys kind of have that going for you.
I've seen his page on my For You page a couple of times. That guy is doing good. I mean, that guy is like, you know, he's swole as well.
He is
But
the only person I've known to curl a UCS Death or no Star Destroyer,
oh
like that
wow.
really big Lego ship. He
Yeah.
just sits there and he curls it, and I'm like, dude, what? Like,
I can't even imagine like having it anywhere here in my room because I'll be honest, I'm running out of space and it's getting like bad. I mean, I can't imagine with Legos because of the different like sizes, right? But yeah, like because I've seen that Star Destroyer and it's huge. It's
yeah,
huge.
it's massive. The Lego, it's tough to kind of like put the like with the Funkos, you can just stack them up and call it a day. Legos, you
Yeah.
can't really do that, so it's definitely tough. But
Yeah.
space is a collector's worst enemy.
I tell you, I'm trying to like go through like my towers, like right there, right? Every weekend when I'm off from work, and it's hard. It's hard. It takes hours to see like which ones I want, which ones I don't want anymore. But yeah, it's a collector's nightmare indeed.
Yeah, 100. So are you trying to like downsize a little bit the collection?
Yeah, I'm trying to downsize. I think right now what I'm mostly going for are grails. So now I'm starting to go for quality versus quantity, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um, just because of that fact, and also I think I don't know because long story short, uh, I have every Endgame Funko Pop, and after that, I was like, what now? It's
yeah,
like, what do I do in my life, right? And then so Star Wars Funko Pop started, and it was just like a whole like reckoning. Like there's so many,
yeah,
but there's only uh the ones I really like are episodes one, two, and three. And those Funko Pops, I mean, there's so many. I mean, they're all old, so they're hard to find nowadays. So I'm I think I'm almost done with like the whole set, but I still need a lot of work, and it's been a mission to say the least.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I think kind of like an aspect of kind of maturing in the collecting phase is reeling like kind of realizing that you don't need every single Funko Pop and you kind of just
Yeah.
want to collect the ones that you wanted because I know initially when I first started I like went crazy. I was like I got to buy every single Funko Pop like that I see, and now that I've kind of got to the point where I don't have a lot of space, I'm like kind of reevaluating and I'm like which one do I really want to keep and which one really like means something to me. And now I only kind of collect based off that because they keep coming out with pops like over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, you know what? I need to kind of slow down. But I got
Yeah.
like late into collecting the Star Wars pops, or at least late for like the episode 1 through 3. So
Oh yeah.
going back and trying to collect those, it was like a mission. But now, like I think the Sith Eyes Anakin, I think I paid like $80 for that one. And it's on the Funko website right now for $15. I think it's sold out right now. So,
It
but I was like,
yeah. Yeah, this entire week I was shocked from that like
yeah,
relaunch, and then today they relaunched again.
again.
Uh, I mean it's sold out, but I mean it's like what the heck? Like where
Yeah.
are they getting these? You know? Like and then it's another thing of having like the special sticker, but if they have like the Walgreens sticker, oh, that value of because I paid around like that much. Yeah, exactly. We paid so much money
Yep.
to only see it for $15, and then who knows if you're gonna get the Walgreens sticker. If you get the
Yeah.
Walgreens sticker and you get it for 15 bucks, major steal.
I mean, I
But
think Chalice was selling it too, but they were like $25, but
25.
I
Yeah,
was
and I
like,
think with like
still,
tax and shipping, it was like around like 30, but I mean, still 30 and
yeah,
$80, it's like, come on
yeah.
now.
I was definitely pretty upset. I was like, "It's cool that they're bringing it back," but I, like, literally went out, I was trying to find that pop, I was like, "I have to have it," because it was, like, my favorite pop. I was like, "It's so
Yeah.
unique and stuff," and I was like, "I gotta have it," and I thought like, at the time, I was like, $80, like, that is a steal. So I purchased it, and now look, a couple years later, they're remaking it. So now it makes me wonder, are they gonna keep doing that? Because they did that with the General Grievous one. Now
Yeah.
this guy's Anakin, and I'm like, "Is this gonna be a trend now? Because I don't know that I'm here for it," you know?
Yeah, I honestly, it's good for like new
Yeah,
collectors, right? But like for us old ones that, we bought it at like grail price, it sucks, but I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
We can't rewind time, but yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yep. It's taught me that patience is a virtue. That's a big one that I've
Yeah.
learned, that's a huge lesson, but, I mean, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I like that they're kind of finally pushing these pops out again, and even, like, with the Rebels pops, we're getting new Rebels pops, even though I
Yeah.
just completed the whole Rebels line. Now we're getting new
Oh,
ones. So I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. There's like it's such like a double-edged sword to this. Like I want more of these pops, but I also spent a lot of money and time trying to find
Hmm.
these kind of personal grails, and now they're just on the market for retail. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, I mentioned before about my Endgame set. It's been I don't know how many years since Endgame has happened, and they're still making Endgame pops. Uh, yeah, so I say right now my collection is complete, but who knows at this point, you know? I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be another Captain America, another Iron Man. I don't know. But I know if there's gonna be another Endgame pop, I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna
Okay.
have to get it.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna keep the all the endgame ones.
I think out of all like the core collection, my Endgame set, I'm gonna keep. If I had to or if I had to stay with, uh, I guess like one big set, it'd be the Endgame set.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
on.
yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I'm a Marvel fan. I mean, it's been a little tough lately.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not,
Oh
like,
yeah.
as big as of a love as Star Wars is to me, but I do really like
Yeah.
Marvel. I prefer it over DC, but I've just been
Yeah.
struggling with it lately, but I know, like, space is not my friend. Because if I could collect Funkos for everything that I love, that, Avatar: The Lost Airbender, my
Oh
entire
yeah.
house would be filled with Funko Pops.
Yeah, I get you on that. Right now, Star Wars is like my number one right now. But I mean, if everything goes well for this next phase of Marvel, who knows? I don't know.
We'll
But
see.
yeah, we'll
My
see.
I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but my fingers are crossed.
Fingers are really crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So I see that you have Clone Wars on in the background. Is
Yeah.
that one of your favorite Star Wars shows?
Honestly, yes. I watched it as a kid, kind of like was in and out of it as a kid, but I want to say during quarantine, that's where I reconnected and it just the love for Star Wars like was brought back because I mean at the time of quarantine, I think The Mandalorian was like pretty much like the only one, and then also like the final season of Clone Wars. I mean, this season itself, it's a tier like
Yeah, it's a
the
masterpiece.
final. It's a masterpiece in itself, and a pet peeve of mine is why did there have to be so little episodes? At least like 16 or maybe even 18, 20 pushing it, but I digress. But yeah, a masterpiece of like as far as like animation, the storyline, everything leading up to Revenge of the Sith, those last couple of episodes. I mean, yeah, Dave Filoni, you know, the goat, the goat,
Yes,
the
the
goat
the
at
literal goat.
everything he did with this series right here. Yeah, this was one of my favorite, if not my favorite, seasons from Clone Wars, for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I kind of very similar to you. I feel like Star Wars has always been a love of mine. It's something that I always kind of like shared with my dad. And then over
Nice.
like kind of when COVID hit, we had nothing else to do. So we kind of
Yeah,
just watched. I was like, you know what? I've got nothing else to watch. Let me try this animation stuff out again. Cause I would watch like a few episodes here and there. I wasn't like a regular avid viewer. And I
yeah,
was like, oh my God, like this is not what I remembered. Like this is so deep. And then we got to season 7 and I was like, oh my gosh, like it was
yeah.
crazy. So, I mean, it definitely reignited my love for Star Wars, and that's when I kind of got into collecting, and Funko Pops was around that time, and then I think everything's kind of just spiraled from there, but for the good, I think.
For the good, of
Yeah,
course, for the good. Yeah, I mean, my love for Star Wars amplified after watching the season, and it made me do decisions as far as like meeting the GOAT, Space Jesus, Ewan McGregor, at a Comic-Con in San Antonio. Uh I was like this, like shaking his hand and everything like that, and I was just like, that's freaking Obi-Wan. Like I just shook
yeah,
hands with Obi-Wan, and usually during those like signings and everything, it's just hi, how are you, whatever, whatever, and boom, you're out. But I had, I mean, it's short, but it's long for what the duration was. But I had like a little like 45-second talk with him, which I mean, it was everything. It was everything. I mean, for those 45 seconds, I want to say, I asked him how did it feel coming back to Star Wars, um, and he just said, that question never gets old. And he went into depth about like coming back in the Kenobi series and stuff like that, meeting Hayden, and it was just a surreal moment, like just to see him and him telling me like his experience throughout it. Yeah, that's my love for Star Wars in
that
a
like
nutshell, right there.
gave me goosebumps.
Yeah,
Literal
yeah,
goosebumps because I just met Hayden at MegaCon. I wanted
yeah,
to do like the dual thing, but I ended up doing a photo op. I kind of wish I did like the signing because I feel like you get a little bit more time with them than the photo op where
yeah,
they're kind of just rushing you through. But literally, as soon as I saw him, I felt like tears were gonna start coming down. He asked me
yeah,
how I was. He looked me in the eyes, and I was like, this is like not happening right now. Like it was absolutely crazy. So I totally understand it. But it was cool hearing him talk, Ewan, about coming back and how nice it's been to kind of have the fandom kind of give him the love and the support that both him and Hayden deserve. That was really
oh,
cool to
yeah,
hear. And that they want to start doing more conventions and celebrations. And I was like, this is awesome. Like you guys deserve nothing less. So it was really
yeah,
cool. They feel the love and they want to continue doing that stuff. So I love it.
yeah, yeah. Especially since like Hayden got like a lot of hate back in the day.
Yep.
Um, but I think it was from the generation from, you know, uh, the old generation, I guess.
The original
But
trilogy guys.
yeah, yeah. But like our generation grew up, so our love, I guess like the equivalent for like the original trilogy is like that trilogy, if that makes sense. And I think like for instance, in Star Wars Celebration, when you could see all the crowd cheering for Hayden when he took the stand, and I think he said, "You guys are making me emotional," and then
Yeah.
you could see he was like trying to hold back, the tears and everything. And I was just like, my dog, my dog. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do, and give him a, dab him up. But yeah, I'm super glad that he came back. Also for Ahsoka, I mean that was every child's dream, reliving the Clone Wars IRL, and it gives me goosebumps every time like I see that episode 5, I believe it is, where you just see like what Dave Filoni did in that episode was it brought tears, goosebumps, emotions, everything for us Star Wars fans. And I just wanted more and more and more of it. And I'm super excited that he said that he wants more Star Wars. He wants to be more in Star Wars, and that to me is everything. That to me is giving me all hope for Star Wars.
Yeah, he was like, "I'll never turn down an opportunity to put the Jedi robes on." So I really hope that they capitalize it because it sounds like him and Ewan really want to continue doing projects. Like Ewan was like,
Yeah,
"Please write to Disney, guys, so that way we could do like a Kenobi season 2." And I was
yeah,
like, "I'll write to Disney every day for you. Like I'll do whatever." But yeah,
yeah.
it's really cool to kind of see that in episode 5 of Ahsoka, or really even I think the end of episode 4 when he was like Snips, and I was like,
Oh,
and then the
I
whole episode
screamed. Yeah,
5, I I can watch that all day long, like, multiple times a day, because it's just a masterpiece. I think it's everything that, like, us as children wanted and didn't know that we needed until, like, we were adults in that moment
yeah,
watching that, and I think it, like, brought out my inner child, and a lot of my favorite things were just connecting in one. We had Hayden as Anakin, we had the Clone Wars, we had Ahsoka live action. I was like, "What is happening?" It was
Captain Rex
crazy.
as
Captain
well.
Rex, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
It was it was a lot to handle.
yeah. It was. It was. I'm actually going to meet Hayden in October. The It's a different Comic Con, but same place as I met Ewan. And there I'm getting a signature and then also a photo op because I didn't get a photo op with Ewan. So I'm like, fingers crossed they bring Ewan back because they brought Hayden back for MegaCon, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm just hoping Ewan comes back so I can have that like dual uh picture of them.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Hey,
That's in the world.
fingers crossed for you. I mean, it'll be a great experience. I'm excited for you. That'll be cool.
Yeah, thanks.
So you mentioned is like the Star Wars Jesus. Is Obi like your favorite character within Star Wars or
Uh, I would say I'm gonna say my boy Anakin.
okay.
Anakin is my boy favorite character in Star Wars, just like his story arc and everything. Um, from where he began as a kid, and then you see him in the teens and Attack of the Clones, and then boom, Revenge of the Sith. It's the pinnacle of everything of Star Wars.
Yep.
And that type of storyline. Um, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen another storyline like that uh, take place. Uh, I'm trying to think, even in Marvel, I'm trying to think, but no, no, I can't think of anything. But Anakin, what he means to me is safety. He protects those he loves. He will go to the farthest like length for those he loves. And I feel like I do that on a daily basis with loved ones close to me. Like it's a ride or die. It's a ride or die if you're in my circle and everything like that. Um, but yeah, I mean Anakin's the goat, you know. Anakin's the goat.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely I grew up with him. He's always my favorite character, but I did really fall in love with Ahsoka when I started watching the Clone Wars. I think it
Hmm.
was cool to just be able to connect with like a female Jedi, and like as I was going
Yeah,
through my teenage years and the trials and tribulations of that, she was also going through that. So I really got close with that character, but I feel like Anakin will always be my guy, and like that's why I was so excited to get the photo op with him. But
yeah,
I think it's really cool when we can kind of connect our day-to-day life and our morals and values with those characters as well. I think
yeah,
that kind of just makes it more mean more to us essentially.
yeah. I would say some characteristics I get from Kenobi is like patience and everything like that. I always tell people like I guess because it goes full circle with like fitness, right? You need a lot of patience to get to your goals. It's not going to happen overnight. So I think that's one of the characteristics from Kenobi that I really utilize on a daily basis for like clients of mine or just some friends in my personal life. And then Anakin, in I channel my inner Anakin in the gym when I'm, hitting the weights and everything. I just put on that hoodie and just go full Order 66 on the weights. I go into that mode. My girlfriend, she knows sometimes what kind of mode I'm in, where it's just like if it's like a heavy PR, personal record or something like that, and then I'll just like snap out of it and go back to like Kenobi or something like that. But yeah, the two dynamic factors of both Kenobi and Anakin, yeah, I want to say I have half and half of both of them.
Yeah, gotcha. You probably need to get I know there's, like, those little squishmallow things, and then you can, like, turn it inside out when you're, like,
Yeah,
mad or, like, happy. You need, like, one that has, like,
yeah,
an angry Anakin, and then you flip it, and it's, like, a happy Kenobi. That'll
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
that would be
yeah.
cool.
That's a
Yeah,
funny
I get
one.
you. Um, so you like Hayden or Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm
Hmm.
assuming that you're a big prequels guy. What is your favorite movie then? Tough one, I know.
That is a tough one. So I'm between two, right?
Okay, that's fine.
Uh, so Attack on the Clones, right? And Revenge of the Sith. Um, those are the two that I really loved and still love till this day, as you know, from a kid to now adult. But if I had to choose one, I think it'd have to be Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
And yeah, call it what it is, you know, standard Star Wars lovers movie, whatever. But it's like I mentioned earlier, it's the pinnacle of everything of Star Wars, and just to see his arc change to Vader, um, man, like just storming into the Jedi Temple, getting all those younglings, you know, that one scene, and then you get to see more of that in the Mandalorian as well, seeing all that happen, uh, as well as in Kenobi. I like that factor where you get to see like what went into the Jedi Temple, but a more in depth feel with all those like shows going down. Um, but yeah, it would have to be Revenge of the Sith, and like my favorite scene. I mean, Duel of Mustafar. Duel of Mustafar. The best scene for me in that fighting sequence is when both of them are on each side, and then they both clash, and then you just see like the with the lava in the background. I could watch that for days, hours, days. That right there is the pinnacle of Star Wars for me personally.
No, I mean, for me as well, that's definitely my favorite movie, and for pretty much the same reasons. You kind of watch Anakin grow up until that point, and then that's when it kind of transitions into Vader, and then you have the original trilogy to kind of explore that side of him. But I
Yeah,
feel like everything within Star Wars, like that is the moment, and
yeah,
that happens in Revenge of the Sith. But I do really like Attack of the Clones, and I think it gets a lot of
mhm.
hate. I don't know why, because I think a lot
Yeah.
of really great things happen in Attack of the Clones, but I definitely get a lot of haters. They're like, Attack of the Clones is trash. And I'm like,
I
if we
think
look at everything that happened in it, it's a
yeah,
great movie.
yeah, and I think for in my opinion, the best scene is Geonosis.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, like watching all the droids and then all the clones, and when uh when the dust and the debris, you seeing all the, you know, the firing and everything, that sequence is everything. Honestly, that's my favorite scene. And then also the Slave One, uh, the bomb. You know,
Yep.
what's it called again? The
Uh,
I'm blanking out right now.
I'm, like, terrible with those, like, the names of certain things, but I know exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah, just the noise itself is like, right? Yeah,
and it just takes out everything around it. Yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's scenes like that happen in Attack of the Clones, and I'm like, I guess if you put the acting aside, I never really had a problem with any of the acting throughout any of the
Hmm.
prequels, but I guess acting aside, the lines aside, like if you really have to put all that aside and look at what happens, it's a really good movie. And it like kind of really
Hmm.
builds what goes on into Revenge of
Yeah,
the Sith. Like it furthers both of their characters or all really everyone's character. And I don't get it. It gets a lot of hate and I don't stand by that.
yeah, and people are gonna have those opinions. They're inclined to have those opinions.
100%.
Uh, I respectfully say otherwise, but I digress. But I'm really glad the Clone Wars did come out because it's that time frame, and you see very specific stuff that went down from episode 2 and all the way through episode 3. And in the Clone Wars, there's a lot of like references, to Attack on the Clones. Um, and you meet these new characters that you're seeing in Ahsoka, like Captain Rex is a big one that everyone, I mean, even for those, I don't know, like maybe 10 seconds he spoke,
Mhm.
uh, I was like everything. And I wish he could have you know, had like a little more of a bigger role, but you know, maybe who knows? Who knows? Maybe down the road in live action Ahsoka when he's old, but who knows?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool getting to see a lot of the Clone Wars characters or even really Rebels kind of make an appearance as,
Hmm.
like, live action. I mean, even I guess well, not even because 'cause we're supposed to be getting Ventress essentially in Bad Batch, so it's cool to kinda just see how everything kinda spreads out from the Clone Wars into the
Yeah,
different other parts of Star Wars, and that's really cool to me.
yeah. I always like it when characters cross paths with each other or like other characters like storylines
Mhm.
because well, one, it's different to see different characters like team up, right? It's
Yeah.
like Hunter and Ventress. Like, how's that gonna go? That's what I really want to see. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this upcoming episode or later in the episodes, but I want to see that, and I want to see how that plays out for real.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see when that's gonna because we know it's coming, it was in the trailer, but I'm just wondering when that's gonna get put into play, essentially. But I've
Yeah,
really kind of enjoyed Bad Batch so far. I think it's I guess if you take it episode by episode, it depends, but I think as a whole, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to kinda see where it's gonna go.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on Bad Batch so far?
I love it. I'm on the same wave as you. I've gotten people telling me that it was a bit slow, episodes 1 and 3, just showing like Omega in the facility, constantly. Um, but I mean, that's where, from season 2, that's where it leaves off, right? So I don't know. In my opinion, I always wanted to see what was happening. Uh, during her duration there, and also like Crosshair, like how is he doing? Is he turned? Was he, brainwashed? Uh, but for those who have seen, Bad Batch, uh, thankfully he's not. Uh, but and then from this uh last episode, you see that dynamic when he lands with Omega and you see two brothers, one brother. I want to see what happens this week. I want to see what happens. How is Wrecker and Hunter gonna deal with Crosshair? That's what I really want to see too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it's gonna kind of essentially pick up come episode 5, but, I mean, I think the ending of that episode was just so beautiful and emotional. You get the
Yeah,
reconnect between her and Wrecker, and, like, he's crying, and then you have Hunter come in, and he was like, "And after all this time searching, you're the
yeah,
one that found us," and I was like, "Oh my god," and then as soon as Crosshair walks out, the tension is just it flips.
yeah.
So, but I do think from, I think it was the Outpost episode where he like kind of is with Mayday. I think that
Mm,
really kind of made him realize that the Empire is not with him or doesn't
yeah,
really care about him. And I think that really kind of shifted. And I feel like through the few episodes that we've gotten so far with this season, I think he's really starting to kind of like show a soft spot for Omega and like compassion for Omega. And the times where he like could have walked away, he goes
yeah,
back for her. And I'm like, I think he's showing a lot of growth. I just
yeah,
hope that Hunter and Wrecker will be able to see that, but who
yeah.
knows?
Yeah, me too. And you see that change in his like demeanor, being a little softer than, being a lot cold like how he was in past seasons.
Yeah.
Like the crosshair, like I guess we all know. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna be in this last season, and that's another thing. Last. Why does there have to be just the final season? Like what the heck? Why?
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad because this could be the last potential animation of. Well, you have Tales of the Jedi, right? But like
Like
those are a
Clone
lot.
Wars style.
Yeah, yeah. I would want like longer episodes, or I don't know. I don't know what kind of story I would be thinking of, like in order to have like another run of like seasons worth of like Clone Wars or The Bad Batch. Um, Maybe Tales of the Jedi, if they could be like longer or more in-depth episodes, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But I really hope
Yeah.
that this isn't like, besides Tales of the Jedi, I really hope there's more Star Wars animation.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean, all good things do come to an end eventually, but I think it's
Yeah.
just tough because essentially we had Clone Wars and it carried right into Bad Batch. Like you literally in the first episode you see the Clone Wars symbol and then it like kind of fizzles out into the Bad Batch. So for the
Hmm.
past like kind of what 16 years we've had that. And now
Yeah.
potentially that could be coming to a close with no replacement. And I think that really kind of hits me a little bit, but I've seen some comments and speculation about maybe like an Asajj Ventress spin-off through the Clone Wars animation style. I hope it's not the end of it, but I
Yeah.
think I would be kind of upset if they do end it, but it would have to be on a very good note if they do.
It would have to be on a mega good note. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that final episode of season 2 wrecked.
yeah.
Wrecked hard. And when Tech literally says, "When do we ever follow orders?" And then you just see or you don't see, but you hear Wrecker's voice of when he like, you hear him mourn for his brother, and it's like that is the part where like I shed a tear right there. That was heartbreaking. I
Yeah.
really hope he's not gone, but I've already like settled in my mind that he's gone. But if they bring him back,
Do you think they're gonna bring him back as a good guy though? Because I've also seen people. We got like a glimpse of the one guy in the trailer or
yeah,
girl. I don't really know yet, but that like kind of mysterious
yeah,
clone. People are saying that that's Tech, and I'm like, oh, like I hope they didn't kind of do like a Bucky Barnes situation where he like falls
yes,
off the train, then they find him, then he goes to the bad guys, and I was like, that would really suck because I feel like I've already grieved Tech's death since like the ending of that season to the beginning of this. So
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like if
yeah.
they bring him back as a bad guy, I don't know how I would take that. I feel like it would be a really bad like Marvel spinoff.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as that. When I saw that clip of that one individual, I was just like, I just hope it's not Tech. I mean, it's like when they said what was it for? It was for that new Doctor Strange movie where there was many people speculating that, oh, Tony Stark is going to come back. And I was just like, no, we don't want him to come back. He's What he did in Endgame, that was it. That was perfect. You let him rest. You don't bring him back after a very few years. Just, you know, unfortunately, he's gone. And I think the way that I guess Marvel did um, his death was like the best way you could ever do it, where he goes back to like the original Iron Man and he says, I am Iron Man. And then he has the gauntlet and he says, and I am Iron Man. And then flashbacks. Flashbacks is all I'm going to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just really hope they don't bring Tech back as far as like that kind of character.
Yeah, I hope if I don't want them to bring him back because I feel like again I've already kind of grieved that character's death because I love Tech. He was like I feel like I related to him like a lot. So I feel like if they did bring him back, but kind of as a bad guy or with the Empire, I don't
Hmm.
think I would be a fan of it. And I hope that they don't. But they also showed like his cracked goggles in one of the
Hmm.
scenes, and like Hunter looked up. So did they go and like find his body and they took the goggles, or were those like an old pair of goggles that got cracked? Like I don't know. I feel like I'm getting mixed signals.
Yeah, Star Wars be playing with our feelings. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also don't want it to be like another Merrick situation where we're all like hyping it
Mm.
up like that's going to be Star Killer or it's going to
Oh
be this
yeah.
person then it's literally like a
I
green like night sister fart and I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh." So I hope we're not like hyping it up like text returning and then he doesn't. But
I still remember that scene, and I was getting like so freaked out. I was besides my girlfriend, and I was telling her like all like the speculation of who it could be, explaining. I literally went into depth for like 30 minutes explaining like who Star Killer is and everything, and then just to see that individual decease and literally green smoke, I was just like, bruh.
yeah.
It's like all this hyped for nothing, you know? But oh well. I
Yeah.
guess they played
It
with
happens.
us. They played with us there so that we could get like, what the heck to Anakin.
Yeah, I
That's
was
my
okay with that.
philosophy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll give Star Wars like the pass on that.
sounds good. You also sent me a few pictures of your collection, so you want to take a look at those, kind of walk me through that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
so yeah, if you want to start with this one, we can.
Yeah,
We could start
go
with
for it.
these two. So, as I mentioned, I am a big Iron Man fan, right? So this is my shrine for him. Uh, what's it call it? When I was in the beginning stages of like starting to collect, I was just like, I have like a couple of Iron Mans right there, but then I purchased that helmet, and I was like, I got the idea. I was like, what if I could build like a little like, Iron Man shrine? And so literally for I want to say like for 3 months, I was just like literally on the hunt only for Iron Man pops. And luckily those were it right there. I I do I do want to get another one of the Infinity War. It's at the very bottom. Only because it lights up and it has a protector on it, so I can't really like go take it out since it's at the bottom and it's such a pain to take all those pops and then
Yep.
the risk of it all falling. So I really do want to get another one. I just haven't had the time to do it, but I really want to get another one, take it out of the box, and then at work have it right there because fun fact, at work, everyone has like a little of their personality. Um, like one of my coworkers, he has like a cactus. Another one has like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a orb type. And then you see me and I have an Iron Man helmet over there at my desk. Like
Nice.
same size and everything, lights glow. So yeah, I want to get another one of those Infinity Wars Ironmans and just put it right there. Um, but yeah, and then moving on to my boy Captain Rex. This was a gift from my beautiful girlfriend. Um, it's from Etsy. I can't remember the name of the company, but it's very, very well detailed. I wish you could see like the sides for like the tally marks and everything like that. But this one in particular, because I know like the Hasbro one came out, uh, but that one, I want to say that one's more of like the Ahsoka Captain Rex helmet. This one is more of like Clone Wars Captain Rex helmet. Uh, yeah, because there was like those two options um when I guess customizing it, I guess. Uh, but yeah, that was a precious gift, and I will never ever trade it. And then you could see like a little Bubble Fett there, the damaged Bubble Fett with like the little Funko Pop, and then this Funko Pop of Captain Rex. Uh, I was searching for like a custom made one, uh, and luckily on Macari, like there was one for like $40, and especially like to this caliber. I don't know if I posted it yet. I think I did, but on my Instagram, I posted like a close-up picture of that Funko. And it's like very detailed, like very, very detailed to the T. And I was really impressed by like the turnaround and also like how it actually looked IRL, because sometimes pictures can be deceiving, but when I got it in the package, I was just like, wow, this is this is really identical to, because I have like the Grail Captain Rex, and it's
Oh,
signed by D. Bradley.
nice.
Um, yeah, that's like again, my girlfriend got me that for one of my birthdays.
Wow. She must
Yeah,
like you.
yeah. No,
She
I
must like you.
yeah, yeah, she's the love of my life. So so yeah, her gifts are amazing to say the least.
100%. Very strong with the force she is.
Indeed she is. Indeed she is. Yes. But yeah, that's like this little section right here.
Cool. So what did they kind of make the captain like, was it another clone that they, like, kind of painted and
Yeah,
molded?
so I think that one is the, I can't remember the name of it, but I don't know if you ever seen the ARC Trooper where he's black and yellow.
Oh, like the Umbra? That
Yeah,
guy?
that one. That
Yeah.
one. That
So it's
one.
based off
So
that.
it's literally that one, but the guy who had it custom and everything, he painted it, he everything to like the detail to like what it would look like for like the Grail one.
Gotcha. Wow. And did you get the
Yeah.
new 2-pack too with, Rex and Ponkrell? Yeah, that was a good one. I got that one because I don't have the grill yet, but I think it's a pretty
Yet.
cool one. Yet keyword. I am on a mission to get some grails. That's my
Yeah. Also, this is a PSA to any Funko Pop collectors looking for the Grail Captain Rex. Be aware because there's fakes now.
yeah.
I just started seeing that. My buddy sent me a picture of it, and I was
You
like,
bought
what
one?
the heck? No, 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 no. It was
Oh,
someone in his chat that I think they had bought one, but I think the way to tell if it's fake or not is that the fake one doesn't have the tally marks on the side.
okay.
So that's like a big eye opener. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So make sure if you're gonna like pull trigger on a Captain Rex, make sure to like see the side, and then if there's no tally marks, don't get it. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, I saw Slapshot Pops posted something and there was like an ad of a Captain Rex and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
no, like they're doing fakes." And I couldn't I mean, they go for like a couple $100 and so I couldn't imagine possibly even shelling out like $400 and then getting a fake. I would be
yeah,
heartbroken.
yeah, 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 yeah. You don't want that. No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money just going down the drain, obviously.
Yeah. So be aware, everyone. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, people.
And then these are some other ones that you sent me as well. The
Yeah,
shock
so
trooper.
yeah. So
Uh-oh.
so no, 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 it's not an uh-oh, but again, my girlfriend got me this for Christmas. So, so yeah, this was her Christmas gift to me because I was really searching for it, and she surprised me with the shock trooper. Um I was like, "What the heck?" I had that reaction. And yeah, because I'm trying to collect all the clones, but I mean, man, I don't think I'm gonna get that 501st Trooper, that phase one, the blue box. I mean, I don't think I say ever, but like who knows? Who knows if there's going to be like a major steal? But I know with that one there are fakes as well with that one too. That one I don't really know how to uh pick apart like which one is real, which one's fake. Um, but yeah, I know I saw one. I think it was on eBay, and I think that's like the closest thing I'll ever pay for a Funko Pop, but it was at a bid of like 800. And I mean that's like one of the like the cheapest ones I've ever seen, like on eBay or Mercari. Um, but still too outside of the price range, you know. But
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, they're coming out with that 501st one. I know it's not like the
Commando.
50, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's not like the 501st Grail, but I mean, eh,
It'll have to do
it'll have to do for
for
now.
now. Yeah.
Unless I hit like the jackpot, then I could get like I don't know how many, and I'll do a little giveaway.
It'd be like one of those, like the trend that's going around on TikTok now. It was like, you'll know if I win the lottery, they'll be
Yeah, yeah,
signed.
yeah, yeah. Hell
Literally,
yeah.
that'll be it. I have all the blue box grails. They'll be mine.
Oh, a dream.
Literally.
But and then the one on the other side, that's one where my girlfriend and I went to a Comic-Con this past year in the summer, and we met and signed the GOAT Andrew Garfield signed um this Funko Pop. And people are gonna have their opinions again, but in my opinion, I think Andrew Garfield is by far the best Spider-Man. And I know there's Toby. I know people are gonna be like, what the heck? But what about Tony, the OG, whatever, whatever. But I don't know. With Andrew Garfield and like his the Amazing Spider-Man movies from him, I don't know. I think his storyline touched home more with me, and literally in the second one, like I think now thinking back, that one scene with Gwen and the clock tower. Um, I mean, you're never gonna see that like emotion. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen that emotion in a while from like a Spider-Man movie. I mean, there was that little part of the third Tom Holland one, but I don't know. I don't think anyone could replace Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and if there is, bring it on. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was a real cool experience, especially like uh, me bringing my girlfriend and meeting him. That was pretty cool. And again, we had like a little 30-second talk just because I said, "Oh, my brother's name's Andrew," and then we went into like a little like convo and stuff like that. But yeah, super nice guy, super nice guy. Uh, Meeting him and everything.
Yeah, I was wondering who signed it because I feel like sometimes with the signatures it's hard to tell, but I'm glad that we're on the
Hmm.
same page because I totally agree with you. Andrew Garfield is the GOAT. I mean, I like Toby. He was the only Spider-Man that we had for like a
Hmm.
while, but then we got Andrew, and I feel like he totally blew Toby out of the water. And Tom Holland, he's okay, but I feel like he doesn't
Yeah,
match the caliber of, Andrew Garfield. And then he
yeah.
did kind of have that redemption scene a little bit where he saved Zendaya and like didn't
Oh,
let that happen again to like what happened with his Gwen.
yeah.
So, but I totally agree with you. I love Andrew Garfield. He's me and my sister's favorite Spider-Man. I think my sister
Heck
just
yeah.
has like a crush on him, and that could be why. But I
Yeah.
think he's by far the best Spider-Man so far.
Heck yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
take, I
That scene.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That scene when he saves MJ. I I bawled. I bawled my
Yeah.
eyes just because my girlfriend was next to me, and I was like thinking of her, and I was just like, "This is where the watermarks come out. This is where the watermarks come
I'm
out."
gonna start. My eyes are gonna start sweating now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You say that instead of I'm crying.
Yeah, I'm not. There's just some dust in the air, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I totally get it. So that's cool. I mean, wow, your girlfriend sounds super awesome. If she finds any deals on some shock troopers in the future, have her let me know. I'm still
yeah,
looking.
yeah. For sure, for sure. I'm very lucky to say that she is a nerd like me. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh
that's cool.
boy.
Yeah,
The
so
big
cute.
kahunas in my collection. Uh, yeah, so actually, funny story, that hollow Darth Vader, when we went to that same con where we met Andrew, we were literally in our hotel weeks, 4 weeks prior, because where it was only like 2 hours away from where I live, right? And I kept on asking, like, "Hey, do you still have it? Do you still have it?" And they were like, "Oh no, it's like on hold for someone. They're gonna pay me this day." And I was just like, "Damn, that would have been like badass," you know. Keep in mind, this con it was for my birthday too.
Nice.
So like me getting this pop along with like Andrew Garfield as well, uh, that was like the cherry on the top for my birthday. So come the week of the con, uh, this person messages me and was like, "Hey, the guy backed out. Are you still interested?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I am." And you know, we're driving up and everything, and I'm messaging the person like, "Hey, I'm here. Is there any way like you could come to like my hotel? I know it's a little like far, but if you could come, that'd be great. Just because we are going to the Comic Con in a little bit." I didn't hear a word from them, and then you know the I want to say a day passed, and then the person messages me and says, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "Oh, thank gosh." And you know, there's a lot of fakes with this Hollow Vader too. And if you know the real one, the star on the flag, it doesn't go through the line, so it's like this. But the fake ones, they go like this. So I really wanted to know if it was fake or not. And so when I saw it firsthand, I was like, oh, thank you. And then these these people, they were like big Star Wars fans, big Star Wars fans. Like they had massive grills. Like they had the 501st Trooper. Um, they had they had the hollow Darth Maul. But
Really?
yeah, they showed me pictures. But the reason why they were getting, I guess, like rid of like all these grails was because they wanted like a new car. So that's why they were doing it. Um, but I mean, what a birthday experience getting this one, and then also the Andrew Garfield. Um, that was something in itself. And then moving on to the Kenobi, this one I won on an eBay bid,
Really?
and I fought hard. And I want to say this is the most I've ever spent on a Funko Pop. Um, I had been searching for this one for a good while, ever since I had known about it. I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Um, and now, currently, I have every single Hollow Star Wars Funko Pop except for Maul. Um, that one, I mean, you know the price tag on that one. That one is far, far
Yeah, that one's up there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anyone that has it that I know um, in their collection, to be honest with you. But you know, the prices I see on eBay, astronomical, astronomically expensive. That is a brand new car. Some of them are a brand new car in this
For
day
like
and
a
age.
few months of rent, like it's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, very expensive.
that will pay for like a lot, a lot in like an everyday living type situation, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, these right here are my two babies. I have them stacked on top of each other in a little case that I have in my room. So yeah, I look, and then another thing, if Ewan does go to that con that I'm going in October, this is the one. This is the one I'm getting signed. I've seen it all on eBay and some on Macari, and I'm always like, if only I had this pop when I met him, firstly, because he signed uh this Funko Pop. So he signed this one, and I want him to sign this one.
Well, you have it out of box?
No, I have two.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this one I also won on an eBay bid, but it was out of box.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it was a lot cheaper, right? Um, but yeah. I keep this one literally right next to my gaming setup, and I'm just like, I have two. That's crazy.
You have two more than me.
One day, one
Yeah.
day.
It's
I'm
one that I
hoping.
do really want. Like, I've heard some crazy stories. Like, I've got a buddy that literally found it at like one of the celebrations that he went to for like 15
Mm,
bucks at the Funko booth. And I was like, $15? Like, that's crazy. Because what those go for, like the Grails, like those two, the Darth, yeah, the holographic Darth Maul. There's also like a
mhm,
Droids Boba Fett, the 501st. Like, those are all like
mhm.
super grails that I would love to have, but I just feel like the price tag on them is like it's high.
Yeah, I will say
Some of them
though,
more
I
than others.
yeah, I will say though, I had to sell like a couple pops in order to get these two.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm downgrading for like grills. Uh, so yeah, if it wipes out like 20 pops, I'm all for it. I'm
Yeah.
all for it. Yeah.
That might be where I'm heading, kind of downgrading to get some grails,
Some
quantity over
grills.
quality or quality over quantity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quality over quantity. That's the route I'm going for. Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And then I think this is the last one that you sent me.
Okay, so this is an exclusive. So everyone's seeing this for the first time. I haven't posted anything about this.
Oh
So
wow.
this is an exclusive for the pod, you know.
Nice. We love that.
Yeah, so this one is very, 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 very special to me. Again, I got this from eBay, but for the price I got this one and it's JSA certified and everything, I had to get this because one, I always wanted uh, a Darth Vader signed by Hayden, and I always liked this quote: "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did." I always loved that quote from Kenobi, always. Um, and I was like, you know, I was thinking to myself, like, when am I ever gonna get this opportunity? Other than like, yes, I can get this exact pop. I could get it signed in October, but for October, I have faith that Ewan's gonna go. So I want to take my duel of Mustafar. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, and I pray, I really pray that Ewan goes, so I would get both of their signatures on it. Because I've seen some a buddy of mine, he has it, and he got both of them signed, and I was just like, I
yeah.
really wish, I really wish. Um, but yeah, this is a 6-inch pop, and this is a Vader, and this is the GameStop exclusive. It has the Funko, the new special sticker, but I was like, I don't care. I need this in my collection, and the fact that it came with a pop armor, uh, was, I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Because you don't see those 6-inch pop armors in the market, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, this pop right here is my newest pop in my collection. I literally got this like a week ago. I hadn't posted about it or anything because I wanted to save it for this. So I'm very glad I did
Yeah,
to
awesome.
share it with all Star Wars lovers and Funko Pop lovers as well. Um, but yeah, I think this one is my top five now for signed Funko Pops in my collection because in my room I have what I call the Wall of Fame, and I want to say I have 27 signed pops. They're all like iconic characters, like either like from Star Wars or Marvel. Right now I'm into that like Star Wars phase, but um, I'm also collecting the Endgame set, but like from all the actors.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have, and it's ironic because I just won an eBay bid today, uh, for Jeremy Renner. So
Nice.
he was the last one. So yeah, it's a big accomplishment that that was in searching. It took me a long time, like I want to say a year and a half to
Wow.
search for all of them and good prices too, and certified and everything. Um, I want to say like the only one I am missing is Black Widow,
Okay.
but the rest of them I have. And it's gonna be a sick picture. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna film content because yeah, it's rare when I take them down from the Wall of Fame. So it's only when I put them up, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I appreciate you sharing this, like,
for
my
sure.
first real Beyond Tatooine exclusive from a guest. That's so cool. But the endgame thing, that's a big deal. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Again, I love that movie. I loved the 10 years of Marvel, um, from that era, and I wanted to do something to remind me of that era, even in these dark times of Marvel, where it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's a good accomplishment to be finally fulfilled. Um, and I'm trying to think of like what now. You know how I said in the beginning, it's like I collected the Endgame set. I now just collected um this Endgame signed set. It's like what do I do now? Like I need to figure out like what I'm gonna do. I mean,
Yeah.
Grails is always that option, but I need to think long and hard for this.
Yeah, I mean, take your time on it.
Yeah.
Patience is key. Channel your inner Obi-Wan, but I'm sure you'll figure it out, and when you do, let us all know. It'll be super exciting.
Yeah,
But yeah. So those are all the pictures that you sent me. I do have some follow-up questions, I guess, about collecting.
for
When
sure.
did you kind of get into collecting like hardcore?
Hardcore. I think it all started when I was a kid, with Power Rangers. I was super, super big with Power Rangers. I mean, uh one of my signed pops, RIP, is Tommy. Uh, Me and my brother got to meet him, and I think it was his actually like his last signing
Oh, wow.
before he passed. It was in Corpus, and uh, yeah, it was a surreal moment. I didn't meet him personally, but my brother did, and it was a funny story because the people there, I guess like the workers who were managing the lines were like, oh, he's too overbooked, blah 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 blah. And I told my brother, no, I mean, we drove all the way over here. You're go stand in that line, or just like wander off and like be like in La La Land, right? And so he did that, and because uh he was late, so that's why I guess it got overfilled, and he only had like a certain amount of time for his time slot. So my brother just waited and he was like wandering around like the line location, hoping like it would open up. And then lo and behold, it did. And it was a pretty sick moment, I guess, like witnessing it. I mean, my brother has an entirely different story, and I'm kind of like jealous that he got to like be there in that moment because I was getting my autograph from General Grievous, aka Matthew.
Oh,
So
nice.
I got his signature, and then uh him and my brother were talking for a good while about like the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, how it was like coming up in Power Rangers universe, and they were there for like a good like 5 minutes, and
Wow.
then he took like a free picture for the inconvenience. So my brother got very lucky, but I'm glad I was able to tell him like, hey, just be in that line, be in that motion, and it surely paid off. And I'm never getting rid of that pop ever. I know, like it's kind of like sad in a way, seeing people sell uh pops that are signed from like people who die like right away, and they jump the market, and you just see like they're upcharged and all these pops uh from the deceased. But yeah, never getting rid of that pop. And then my brother got his signed, and I think it's the Grail, the White Ranger, I believe he got signed. Or was it the Green Ranger? He got two signed. I can't remember which ones they were, but one of them I remember it was a Grail. I only had like a normal uh Tommy Funko Pop with his mask off, but that that was everything.
Yeah, that's super cool. I have a buddy that's like a huge Power Rangers fan, and I think that he has the White or the Green Ranger, I think he was telling me, and he, like, got it signed, and it was, like, a big deal when he had passed. But I wasn't as into Power Rangers as Ricky was, but I still love
Hmm.
Power Rangers. I was a yellow Power Ranger from Dino Thunder for, like, one of the Halloweens. That
Heck
was,
yeah.
like, my jam, but I never, like, got into collecting stuff for it, but I totally understand the hype, and, yeah, I hate when they kind of they like really price up things when people pass. I think that really sucks, but I
Yeah.
also get it because you're never gonna get that autograph again. But I feel like I would
Yeah.
never sell that, especially if I had the experience. Like I feel like that's something I would never forget. But I
Yeah.
mean, I know that some people just go and get things signed and then just to sell them. Like it doesn't mean anything to them, which is tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely see that in the Funko community, at least. A lot of the times, I get it, it's business, but other times it's like, you know, you some people take away others' experiences in a way. Like as far as like if the line, like, yeah, there's a cutoff, and then what now to like the normal, collector.
Yeah, it's tough because you get people that show up and they've got like all the boxes and like they're very organized about it, most of them. And they're like, I need you to
Yeah,
sign it right here. This is the color that you're going to use. But I'm like, dude, like by the time he
yeah,
gets done signing all that, it's going to be lunchtime and then he's not going to
yeah,
get through the rest of the line. And I'm like, I get it. It is a business. It's a way for people to make money and a living. But
yeah,
when it comes to like collecting, because I feel like that's what people go to the cons for is to meet people that they idolize or they've watched. So I feel like it's tough when it kind of gets to a business aspect when it comes to like signings and stuff. But not much I can
yeah,
do about it.
yeah. It's a 50-50.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. It's not all the time, but it has happened to me a couple times.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
worst.
And then I feel like your primary focus is Funko. Do you collect anything other than Funko Pops?
I don't want to start,
Yeah.
but Lego is kind of there. I'm
Okay.
kind of into like the Lego helmets. Like for instance, I have this bad boy right here, the goat,
X. Nice.
the goat, and I just recently bought Cody, and so I'm gonna have them side to side on my desk. But I really pray I don't go into this rabbit hole of Lego because that's like another story.
Yeah.
That's another as far as like capacity in my room, I don't think I have that uh at all. Um so I'm kind of like forcing myself not to look at any of the new Legos, like the new Millennium Falcon that just dropped. I really want it, but I just don't have space. I
Yeah.
don't have space. If it's like a birthday gift from someone, I'm like, hey, thank you so much. But I mean, I don't think I can't afford to have more anything more than just Funko Pops in my room currently. It's just too much right now. I need to go through like a deep dive cleaning of like Funko Pops I do not want anymore. Put them to a side, put them in a bin, put them in the garage, and sell them on Facebook Marketplace, in local group chats, or go to Whatnot. I've never tried Whatnot, but I know buddies of mine tell me like, "Hey, Whatnot is the place to go," and I'm just like, it probably is. It probably is.
I'm a huge Whatnot person. I make a lot of purchases off Whatnot. I haven't
Yeah,
sold on Whatnot, so I'm not sure in that capacity how it is, but I
yeah.
definitely love Whatnot. It's like an addiction. I have a problem. I've definitely slowed down a lot, but when I first started getting into like collecting like really
Hmm.
hardcore Funko, I was like nonstop swiping and bidding, and I was like, I need to chill out. So I've definitely
Facts.
calmed down on it. But if I'm ever really looking for a pop, I'll always go to Whatnot. And most of the time it's there and you can kind of bargain people down for a good price. I feel like eBay's a little bit tougher.
Oh,
The
okay.
people on eBay, I feel like they're a little bit rougher. I don't know if it's just me, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah.
love
I've
Whatnot.
I've never tried like Whatnot, as far as like buying or selling. But I'm only gonna try it. I know like some of my buddies or some of the people I know in like the Funko community, they have like their codes like for first time like Whatnot purchases. Like
Mhm.
you get like $10 off or 15 or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll use that to my advantage and see what pops I could find there. Um, but yeah, I don't want to go to this rabbit hole of Lego. I don't. I really don't. I'm forcing myself not to do anything about that.
Yeah,
Even
I've got
though I keep on seeing like people's like new Legos and everything, I'm just like, oh, I can't afford it. I can't afford like space anymore at all. And then
yeah,
it's also expensive too, if not
yeah.
more.
They've they are definitely a lot more expensive than a
Yeah.
$12, $15 Funko Pop. But I feel like just kind of building them really is like a
Hmm.
stress kind of reliever. So I definitely love
Yeah.
building Legos, but I've definitely gotten to the point where I have more Legos that I need to build, but I keep purchasing them. Like I just bought the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon one in the Tantive, but I had
Oh,
like a
nice.
$50 off like coupon from all the points that I've like
Oh.
accumulated. So I was like, you know what? Let's ball. So I went and got it, but now I'm like, well, if I do build it, where am I going to put it? Cuz my Lego backlog is it's deep.
Yeah, I feel you with that. I feel you with that. I see the Millennium Falcon and I'm just like, I want it so bad. I want it so bad because it's smaller
Yeah.
than the, not like the big one,
There's
but
like a
like there's
play
like,
scale one.
yeah. There's that one, but I know for sure even with that one, I can't like afford to put it in my room. Maybe the recently one that just came out, I can make do with, but yeah, again, I'm gonna have to like move Funko Pops around, and I just don't want to do that at all.
Yeah, I get it. But I also know, at least some of the local comic shops by me, if I'm ever looking to like really kind of just unload and not go through the process of selling individually, they'll usually
Hmm.
buy like a decent amount of pops off me like at once. Like they'll check it, they'll give me a price. I'll either say yes or no, and then they kind of just take it, then they'll sell it. But they usually take them like all at once, and it's usually a
Dang.
pretty good option. So we can
I
look into
know,
it too.
I know one of my local like I guess like shops like that does that, but they only do it during like certain times of the year. Like I
Oh,
think they'll do it like in summer, and then maybe in November for like the holidays, holiday gifting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I wish I wish there would be like a place where I could just like get rid of all of them at once. I know they're gonna like lowball me, but I'll take that. I'll take that offer, honestly. But
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
lucky.
yeah. I mean, I don't have too many Funko Pops to offload, but usually if there's a few that like aren't selling on eBay or whatever, I'll just bring it to the guy and I'm like, whatever you want to give me, just give it to me and you can have them. Like I can't put up with it anymore. I got to
Yeah.
make room for other things. Um,
hmm
and I guess my last question for you is what is your favorite or most valuable piece? It could be monetary or personal to you in your collection.
Ooh, this is a big question.
It is a big, that's why I like to end on this one.
This is a big question. Hmm. I want to say I'm trying to think of all the Funko Pops I have in my room and stuff like that, or even helmets. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to like look.
Yeah.
Uh, Dang, you came in with the heater, you know? You
Yeah,
came
I
in with the
mean,
heater.
yeah, it's a good question. It always takes people
'Cause
out. It takes me a second to kind of think about it too, so I get it.
yeah, because you gotta register like everything you
Yeah.
have, and you know, um, I am going to say I'm gonna say my Captain Rex. My
Okay.
Captain Rex is one that um really, really uh when I was barely beginning to get into like grails and stuff like that, um that was one big one. And then the fact that, you know, someone bought it for me, aka my girlfriend, um that was really special and I'm never ever getting rid of that one. Um Especially because she gifted it to me. And on top of that, it's signed.
Oh
So
man.
so yeah. Uh D Bradley, uh the GOAT of all clones. So yeah, I'm gonna say my Captain Rex signed Funko Pop. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. It was great, like, really getting to talk to you, like, further and not through, like, comments or messages, and I feel like we had a really good conversation. I really enjoyed that, so thank you so much for coming on.
And like I said, it's an honor being here. Uh, like I told you, I see your podcasts on, you know, TikTok, on Instagram, and then when you reached out to me, I was just like, it's a true honor because like us Star Wars fans, like I said in the beginning, it's all about love. It's all about supporting the community, and it's all about sharing our love for Star Wars. And that's what I want to do with the Buff Collector channel on both Instagram and TikTok. I know, sometimes you're gonna get those comments where it's like, but you don't know this or this specific and stuff like that. And then you have like those other comments where like, yes, I agree. We love Star Wars. Doesn't have to be like this. So it's a balance in the comments, but overall, love Star Wars. Love everything about Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith. The best one out of all of them. I'm saying it. I don't care what anyone else says. But yeah, it's an honor to be here, and I'm super super happy of how this conversation went down. And yeah, I'm wishing nothing but the best for you and your channel,
Thank you.
as you are continuing to grow, and I wish you nothing but the world of success.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave all your information down in the description. But if you could let everyone know one more time where they can find you, if you have anything upcoming that you want people to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, for sure. So, uh, everyone on TikTok and Instagram, it's the Buff Collector. You could find me doing Star Wars content, Funko Pop content, some Marvel content here and there, at least not for now. But, you know, mainly Star Wars and Funko Pops for now. Um, I do a lot of fitness type of memes in that space too. Uh, but yeah. Oh, also, this is another exclusive that I have announced, but it's been a while. But a giveaway from a galaxy far, far away is coming. It's coming soon. It's coming
Okay.
soon. And uh, I just want to let y'all know that. And let's just say it's gonna be a Funko Pop, of course. And who knows, it may be a grill.
Oh, well, everyone
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that. Make sure to check out his pages, give him a follow on Instagram and TikTok. He's an awesome guy, great conversation. Thank you again so much for coming on. And to everybody else, I will see you next Thursday.
Peace.